Okay, everyone, welcome to our 8 o'clock Monday night team training for the Life Movement. Today, we're going to do something different. I'm pretty excited about this. Firstly, apologies, Tamara hasn't been on tonight. She had to attend to some medical bits and bobs as she's a doctor. So I'm jumping in tonight, and what I wanted to share with everybody, I've just come back from a weekend retreat. I just spent Friday, Saturday and Sunday doing a spiritual business course, and it was actually a really powerful weekend training. Can I just have is everyone okay? Can everyone hear me properly? Good, okay, great. So it was an amazing weekend of tons and tons of training, and I absolutely loved it. But every time we went through the spiritual laws of self and the spiritual laws of business, they were identical. Now, I'll give you an example of how fascinating it was. Every person got an opportunity to be profiled over the weekend to really see what direction they're heading towards in business. And the fascinating thing is that it was actually your direction you're heading to personally. The internal workings of your thought patterns actually is the external results of your business. So every time I threw something out about business, they would say, "Are you doing this in life?" And I'd be like, "Oh, yes." And it was the direct correlation to your internal feelings as to your projection in business, as towards your growth. So I wanted to go through the 8 universal laws of self and business. And this is really spiritual self-mastery. And I think this is really interesting because we can actually just take every single one of these laws and directly correlate it into the Juice Plus business for each and every single one of you. So law number 1 is what you put in is what you get back. Now that's common sense, isn't it? But what you put in is what you get back. So let's just talk about this for a minute. So if you are talking to 10 people a day, you are going to get a lot back in return. A lot of emotional revenue, a lot of customer acquisition, and eventually a lot of franchise acquisition. But if you're doing a lot of hiding and administration and you're calling this work and you're doing a lot of that, what you get back is a lot more hiding. People are hiding from you. So really, when I thought about this, I thought, well, it just makes perfect sense spiritually, but it's common sense. And so there's not much more to say with that. But what you put in is what you get back. And I'll give you a great story. Linda Evenden from the Gold Coast rang me one day and said, "What are you guys doing over in the West?" This is when in the West all the NMDs were growing at a very rapid rate. And I said, "Why don't you come over and have a look?" So she came and spent a week with us, and she went to 3 events per day with us. And at the end of her week, she said, "There's no secret sauce, is there?" And I said, "No, there's not. It's just hard work for big results." And she was like, "So it's just a matter of you're doing 3 events per day, about up to 15 events per week, and we were only doing 1 event per fortnight." And that was how it was growing. We were growing at this pace and they were growing at this pace. So she learned very quickly what you put in is what you get back. So she just sped the whole thing up. Now, don't be afraid of that. An event isn't hosting an event with 15 people or doing an event with 100 people. An event is a catch-up with 1 person, or an event is a Zoom call, or an event is sitting around a coffee table, or an event is an event at night time where you might have an in-home, or it might be a Zoom call, or it could be anything. So it really is just about what you put in is what you get back. Now, your heart, number 2, okay? So your heart, not your head, is your truth. So when you're telling yourself all these stories in your head, it's not true. What leads you to do something and jump in with all of your heart actually creates emotional revenue. Emotion comes through this space. So when we actually talk to people from this space, this is our truth. When we talk to people from this space, we're selling, and we talk to people from this space, we're sharing. Now, this is often quite difficult for people to go from the head to the heart, but really, truly, when you want the very best for somebody, you will know exactly the right time to share Juice Plus with them. You will know whether you've got enough of a relationship with them. You'll know if they trust you. You'll know if you can share it without getting rejected. You will know when it's the right time, when you're sitting in this space. And simply to be in this space, it just takes 10 minutes of breath work before the start of your day, and then a continuation of that breath before you get on the phone, before you turn up to a meeting. Change your state and anything is possible. Get into a state of certainty and heart, and you'll always come across as authentic. And this is the game of authenticity. The more authentic you are with people, the more people will want a relationship with you, and people only buy from who they know, love, and trust. That's the truth. Okay, number 3, life is naturally in flow. Everything that's happening to you is a direct relationship between what's going on in here and your thought patterns. Hilary Manners is a master at this. She taught me about, in the very early stages of my business, she taught me about everything I was projecting was coming back to me. And I had to watch my language. I had to stand up as a leader. I had to really shift that. And there's a lot of certainty that comes from knowing that life is in flow. Nothing's happening to you. It's happening for you. So if you're getting a no, 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 the universe is trying to teach you a lesson on how to articulate better. The universe is teaching you to try a different way of sharing it. It's not rejection. It's a lesson. So let your lessons become your blessings, and you will understand that this flow is trying to, instead of going down the hallway with certainty, sometimes we're a little drunk banging on the walls down the hallway. We just need to stop drinking, start breathing, and just walk directly down the hall with our high heels on and actually have some intention and be really certain around what we're doing. And the certainty in what we're doing is we're giving people an immense gift. We're giving them a really incredible gift. And if you don't believe it's a gift, you need to do more training. And when I say training, I mean know your product, know your product, know your product, know your product. Know the business too, that's important, but we don't have a business without a product. So know your product. Listen to Carla Thomas talk about the product. Listen to Tamara Hunter talk about the product. Abby Hero talk about the product. All the NMDs talk about the product. They talk about it with such certainty because it's such a gift. Go to who you resonate with and ask them to share the product with you for 1 minute, and go and do that with 2 or 3 people you admire, and they will just leave you the message of how they share the product. Then start to duplicate behaviour around how they share it. Sorry if I just dumped all the NMDs in that, but I think it's important for us to grow. We get our verbiage right. Okay, number 4, your story. Your story is your power. Now, your power can be negative if your story is negative. And when I say that, if you want to share your story in this business, you have to show the vulnerability of where you were, and you have to show the triumph. You show the triumph, people will bend and lean into the triumph, and they'll want to join you on the journey. But the minute if you make it too long and too waffly and too much about the negative stuff, and you don't share the definitive code around what Juice Plus does for us, it bridges the gap between what we're not eating, what we should be eating. It provides good quality nutrition for our cells and enriches our cells with amazing nutrition that feeds our blood, our bones, our organs, our brain, our body. Our whole food nutrition concentrate orchestrates amazing whole food healing in the body If you can't articulate that as a part of your story, then you need to get really, really solid focus on the gift. Now, I'm not saying share it like me, because I don't want anyone to become me. I don't want anyone to become Hillary or Bron or Tamara or Stevie or Abby or Valerie or Naomi or Kim. You know, we don't want anyone to become anyone. We want you to become you. Figure out a way that suits you and your verbiage and get into flow with that. So your story is your power. And just remember, if your story is up here and you're thinking about how to share it and in your head, people can feel that it's bullshit. You have to share it from here, right? It has to be from here. You have to touch lives. Okay. To forgive, number 5, to forgive is to set yourself free. Now, this is a really tricky one to directly relate to our Juice Plus business. But to forgive is to set yourself free. Do you know how I've interpreted this for our business? Discipline your disappointments. Forgive yourself for making mistakes. It's okay, you're human. If you make mistakes and you can laugh at your own mistakes, you set yourself free. Do you know how many times I've had a customer say to me, or a potential customer say to me, oh, thank you so much for sharing Juice Plus. I've just bought it off my best friend. And I go, do you know what? I'm so excited that you're on the product. My intention is always to educate and hope that everybody can be on this incredible product. Congratulations. Next, discipline your disappointments. And remember, our intention should be that we want everyone in the world on this product. We want Juice Plus to be like the Kleenex for colds, but it's the health product for the future. So you want everybody in the world to be on this. Okay, so I also think that to forgive is to set yourself free. Is that sometimes in our business we can have disappointments, upline, downline, sidelines, things can happen. Sometimes it's important. I've had to deal with this and go through this myself and sit in meditation around this. To forgive is the power of growth. And you know what? Sometimes it's just about forgiving your mother or your father first. And then maybe forgiving yourself. Because all that stuff is in the past. And the only way to move forward and to connect with people is to live in this space, and this means live in the now. So meditation and breath work just will center you, and then you get yourself in the right state and you make that call. You go and visit somebody. You know, it's simple. It's far more simple than we think. Okay, number 6. Do what you have always done and get what you have always got. Who here is really afraid that they will be doing the same thing in 5 years and be nowhere? Who's really afraid of that? I'm so glad there's no hands up. Because the thing is, if you're currently speaking to one person a week, and you do that for the next 5 years, I can guarantee you're going to have a business that earns you about $500 a month, eventually. And it might take you a year to get there. And you don't want that, but some of you might want that. Some of you that might be your first goal. But what we actually want is for each and every one of you to grow each day, each week, month, year, and over a 5-year period. Be a new person. Be you, but be a new version of you. Who would like to be a newer, more beautiful, more amazing, more connected, more spiritual, more wonderful, more talented, more powerful version of themselves? Even me. You know, I got such a wake-up call at this weekend. I was so tired after the weekend before, and I didn't know whether I could go, and I went. I sacrificed a lot of amazing social time. I missed out on little Shmooey's birthday, and I went. And it was the best thing that I did, because I have a lot of certainty that's sitting in my heart space at the moment around where we're going as a team, the direction that this amazing company is going in. I feel very certain that I'm in the right place, and I haven't felt like this for such a long time. And it really is about learning these universal laws and really getting deep within myself and thinking, what is important to me? And everything outside of that does not matter. So what is important to you? Really focus on that. So if you focus on what's important to you, then do what is required to get there. And if you don't know what's required, if you don't know that it takes 5 phone calls a day and 3 catch-ups a week to get to NMD in 2 years, then talk to your upline leader or their NMD, do an NMD call with somebody and say, I actually want to make it somewhere in this business. And this is the goal I want to achieve financially, but this is also the goal I want personally. And these are how many people's lives I want to impact. And they will teach you how to do that. Okay, number 7. There are only 2 emotions, love and fear. When you're not sharing, you're in fear. And when you are sharing, you are in love. Not only in love with yourself, but in love with helping, sharing, caring, giving someone the gift of health. When you're in the space of connection, you're in the space of love. And as soon as you tap into that great desire to care for people at the highest level, you will see huge results. It's funny, I had a meeting today with 3 of Kim Robb's team, and they came over to just talk about an idea they had. And, you know, they're so laser focused on just who can they help, who can they help, who can they help. And I found it so inspiring. I felt like I was in business 8 years ago when I was completely addicted to who can I help. Who's in that who can I help addicted phase? I know there's a lot of people on there, a lot of people right now that are stepping into that space. And it's a beautiful thing when you decide, I want to serve humanity and I choose Juice Plus as my vehicle. Who's actually got there just recently and gone, you know what? I'm tired of sitting in this space in life. I want to help more people, and I've just decided this is my vehicle. You know, it's a really powerful place to click into, and sometimes it comes with such fast and furious energy that it's really quite addictive, but it's beautiful. So if you're in that space, congratulations. If you're not and you want to go there could be something just irking you here that you need to get past. And the only way you're going to get to that is if you breathe every day and change your state and send the thoughts away in your mind that aren't necessary, that aren't real. If you don't think you're worth it, if you don't think you're kind, if you don't think you're talented, you're wrong. We're all born innately beautiful and very talented. If you haven't clicked into that, you need to learn how to do that. You need to buddy up with someone and say, teach me, keep me accountable. Okay. All right, the last one. This is a big one. What you fear will come about. So if you fear not doing well in this business, that is exactly what you're projecting to the universe. So you need to learn to drop that fear. And that just follows on from number 7. When I first started this business, I used to write on the mirror, who can I help today, in lipstick. It was my mantra. After a while, when we were moving so fast, we actually decided that that wasn't the right mantra. The right mantra is show me how to love and appreciate and enjoy the journey of helping humanity. And that was such a powerful statement, because then I started enjoying my business. And remember, this kind of language responds so well in the universe. The universe just whacks it back to you, you know, because it's like, wow, you're talking about joy, you're talking about gratitude. You're talking about how to enjoy, how to appreciate serving humanity. You're asking me to show you. So then I was just getting lots of people come to us all the time. But I was also meeting the universe halfway. If anyone heard the saying, meet him halfway, and God rewards the brave, these are universal messages to tell you how to do business or how to do life. If you want to resolve an issue with someone, you've got to step forward into that issue and say, let's talk. Let's brainstorm how we can get past this. If you want to move forward in business, you've got to step towards someone and love and care about them, raise them up, give them a program, invite them into our community, follow them up with love, send them a gift, send them a card, and invite them to look into the product, invite them to an event. So I thought that this was a bit of a different training tonight, and I thought now that we've gone through all of that, I'd love feedback, because I was actually kind of nervous to present this tonight because it's really different from me. You know, I like a bit of woo-woo, but I never really talk about it publicly. So does anybody want to ask a question or give some feedback? Number 7, Carla, was there are only 2 emotions, love and fear. Thanks.
Hi, Nat.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I think a lot of us are a little bit gobsmacked because there was a lot to take in, a few aha moments rattling around. So, yeah, what's the old song? All you need is love. So, yeah, I think everyone agree that was a lot to take in and badly doing notes. Now we've got to digest it all and maybe put it to practice.
Oh, do you know what, guys? I was really emotional on the weekend because this coach who's been coaching for 25 years sat me in front of the room and digested my business, tore it apart, ripped me apart, really. And he just tapped me on the chest and said, Nat, leadership is about love. And I just, really, I feel emotional even talking about it. Honestly, when we want to know what leadership looks like, it really is love. It's like, how much are you going to care about people? What are you going to do to love at the highest level? How are you going to hold people's health in your hands and cradle them to the next level? And I'm not talking about enable people. I'm talking about inspire and empower people. You know what? Initially, we have to really help them understand the product and build belief in it and build the values around it. Then we have to make sure they keep in their habit. Then we have to help them see the benefits and then articulate their story. Then we have to help them see that other people are noticing the transformation. Then we need to show them how they can share that with others. That really is what we do, Chloe. We all need some woo-woo in our lives. Oh, thanks, Janine. I love the woo-woo. I'm trying. I'm just as nervous as like a brand new franchisee trying to express something fresh. It's so unusual for me to talk about this sort of stuff, but I think it's nice. And I can see that Tamara's actually listening. That makes me even more nervous. So, look, I think we all have the power to love people, and that's why we're doing this business. You know, this is not just a network marketing company, guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful product that provides a platform for healing for people. We actually, and this is the words of Kim Robb, we actually prescribe time and attention through whole food nutrition. I actually think we also prescribe time and attention and love through a personal development journey and a product. And the truth of that is that some of us are prepared to give love at the highest level and we will get the greatest return. And some of us just want to make money. That's the difference between somebody who will go to the top. You know, when Adrian brought that beautiful gentleman to our event and he lost all that weight, you could see how immensely connected Adrian and him were, and I apologise, I forget his name, Adrian, but you can see how connected they were as people. And that's what it takes, you know. Justin has got a beautiful client that has lost, is it 8 or 16 kilos? I can't remember if it was 2 sets of 8 or 2 sets of 4, Justin, but she's done 2 shreds back to back and she's lost all this weight and she's just transforming her life. So what are you going to do to help people, you know? Passion is from the heart. You can never teach someone this. You know what? You can't teach someone passion, but you can definitely identify there's things holding them back from stepping into passion. And I think sometimes it's a belief that we've adopted since childhood that is holding us back. I certainly have some beliefs around leadership that I learned as a child, that you get knocked down in leadership at times. And I had to go through that this weekend to realise that being knocked down is part of life. And the greater you get, the more you get knocked down. And that's actually part of the growth. When you are in your truth, nothing can hurt you. When you know who you are, categorically, nothing can hurt you. So when you know self, you can move forward. And it doesn't matter what that customer might say or that friend might say or that family member might say. You say, but this is truth for me. I actually love this. And this is my pathway to help others. So, you know, I personally think that this is definitely a good way to look at our business, just for something different. Anyway, what is the time? It's 8:28. Look at me, exactly half an hour. I feel really good. I didn't go over time. Anyway, guys, we are going to have this recorded and up in the next 24 hours if you want to share it with those who missed out. I just want to say I love you all and thanks for listening.
Thanks so much, Nat.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks.